Hello and welcome to another Looney Tunes commentary. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing as it helps out the channel and it allows you to follow along, and also give this video a like if you do like it. Now this is a commentary for Boom Boom, released in 1936. It's the 122nd in the series and it's directed by Jack King. And this particular print comes from the Porky Pig 101 set, where, okay, there were a few flaws in it, but you know what? Still a pretty solid set, and this is one of the cartoons that was actually new to the set. This one thankfully didn't have the wrong opening titles, and you know, for a cartoon that wasn't given an extensive restoration, it looks pretty solid. But at least that's my understanding anyway, that a lot of the new to DVD shorts on that set were just were not done from the original negatives, because that was a quote-unquote no-budget release. So we have here just a whole bunch of World War I gags, and it's easy to forget that, well, this one came out in 1936 and World War II hadn't happened yet. In fact, Nazi Germany was, of course, more or less a superpower, you know, in the world of on the world stage, I should say, and yeah, and all the terrible things that happened didn't happen yet. But this is yeah, all play on the World War I stuff, and there's some pretty funny gags here. But it's just funny how Beans himself, because this is, lest you not sure where on earth is Porky and Beans here, but Beans doesn't appear in this cartoon until like halfway. Porky a little bit sooner, and again, I just have that funny feeling that Jack King wasn't a huge fan of working with, well, first Buddy and then Beans, because there's really nothing to do with that character. But here, this is a more solid cartoon. You know, like you got here the Yankee Doodle, and he's just gone, because why not? That's pretty good. But yeah, this one's definitely funny. Like, you got this weird character there with the big teeth, and you know, the jittery character here, but this just seems to me like, yeah, Jack King cutting loose again, and thank goodness for that, because his past few shorts have been either really strange and not funny at all to just okay, and of course you got your typical grenade type joke here. But it's weird that the other character ended up getting, well, killed and becoming an angel in heaven, compared to this guy just flying up in the air. But anyway, that's fine, we can't get too violent in these things. But yeah, we finally see Porky, and he's voiced by Joe Doherty, as he was previously, and the pitch is back up to the higher pitch, as opposed to the previous Porky short, with the Gold Diggers of 49, where for some reason it was just a lower pitch. But maybe they're just trying something new there, and maybe they just realised that the high pitch just works better for the character, and I totally agree. But yeah, here's Beans, halfway into the short. Yay. I know you all missed him, right? But I mentioned in the previous Beans commentary the Phantom Ship, how he was up against a Ham and X, and that didn't quite work because just the characters don't quite gel together. Like, they don't play off each other pretty well, whereas here, at least Beans and Porky, this dynamic works pretty well, at least in my opinion. So, you know, if they had made more, I guess, Porky and Beans cartoons, you know, that wouldn't have been necessarily bad thing if they had Beans as, you know, I guess, a straight man, and Porky as, you know, the other character, wherever you want to make him to be. But you know what? I'm glad that they finally saw that Porky was the wave of the future, and they just stuck with him. Because, I mean, let's face it, if you replaced Beans with Buddy here, or even Bosco for that matter, there would be really no difference in the dynamic. But yeah, and now we get some sort of a story in this cartoon. But you know what? The gags were entertaining enough that, you know, I can overlook there being hardly a story here. I guess this was maybe an excuse for Jack King to do like a war-themed cartoon, and it looks really nice, especially in this restoration. She has an angry bullet right there. got some good angles, and I noticed with Jack King, he tends to use a lot of those different angles than a lot of the other creators did. Similar to how Frank Tashlin would later on do his shorts in a particular way, as though he was making like a live action film. He would, he would do a variety of shots. Yes, Porky and Beans. Yeah, but I gotta say, I do like this one. I really do. And so this gag shows just how surreal that they're gonna start to get with a lot of these Looney Tunes cartoons. I mean, if only, I guess, moving a hole is this easy. Definitely a good gag. I personally liked it. I mean, it's the sort of thing you can only do in the cartoons, and it's certainly not the sort of gag that Friz Freleng would have used, for example, around this time. In fact, I don't think he would have even used this gag even in his prime, to be quite honest. But here we got the bad guy. I mean, once again, Billy Bletcher. This seems to be the go-to guy with this sort of a character. The whole hot foot. Yeah, that seemed to be a big thing back then. So now they're going to rescue their general and, yeah, pretty much save the day, and that's it. So what do you think of this one? It's I mean, like I said, I think it's a solid short. Not the best Porky I've ever seen or anything. I mean, in fact, Porky's pretty much, the co-star in this one, and really only for half the cartoon. But I just like here that it's also got a very strange ending, that they end up being in hospital and they're all injured, and they just have a laugh over the badge that the general gives to Beans. But anyway, but let me know what you think about this one in the comments below. Hit me up on social media as well if you want to have a chat about it as well. And I'll also have a link to Porky Pig 101 in the description, so if you don't have the set, I do highly recommend purchasing that. It also helps the channel out too. So thanks guys, until next time.